Hi guys, it's JB Shaw with your astral weather report for the 8th to the 14th of March 2021. And today, in terms of the astrology, I'm going to focus on the new moon right here, which is on the 13th of March. Basically, the main energies for this week, we're continuing this theme with this incredible amount of Pisces energy going on. So very soft, sensual, mystical, very poetic. And it's really intensified this week actually, because we've got these two here. We've got Venus and Neptune. Remember, Venus is exalted in Pisces, she's very happy there. And Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and they're meeting up together. It's actually the day after the new moon, but that energy will still very much be in force then. So very much a week of surrendering. I think silence is a great thing this week, just really letting go, being in nature, tuning into those higher frequencies, listening to the birds, the trees, and a lot of rest. Find your sustenance from nature. I feel that's a good message this week with all this energy in Pisces. It's a very feminine energy. Venus is seen as the lower octave and Neptune as the higher octave of the feminine, so it's got this kind of divine feminine energy. And then of course we've got the moon in on the action as well. A new moon is when the moon and sun are joined. So it's very much a receptive vibe, okay? We actually have most of the action here. We've got Capricorn, Pisces, and Taurus. These are all, if you think of like the yin and the yang, the plus, the negative and the plus polarity, these are all negative signs, the three I've just indicated, with the exception of this Aquarius and Gemini energy. But most of it is in the yin sign, so it's a much more receptive energy. So it's definitely a week to allow rather than to instigate. The other thing I noticed about the chart for the new moon is that there's actually no fire in any of the planets. When you find this in someone's chart, it can sometimes mean that the fire element, because it's not naturally grasped, it can somehow come out in a fanatical way, or like almost a parody of fire. So whilst you're doing all this dreaming, escapism, listening to music, whatever Piscean activities you're pursuing this week, if there is any anger, any agitation, just be sure to nip it in the bud, because when there's no fire around, it can have that way of coming in, maybe through your body or something like that. So just make sure that you find an outlet for that if it comes up. But otherwise a great week to dream, to get quiet. Piscean things include film, dance, so anything with that escapist quality is really good this week. And so a new moon is about setting new intentions, and I feel this is a really good time, a really good day to set intentions around anything Piscean. So I was saying last week that Pisces is where we really merge with the infinite, it's where our boundaries fall. So anything to do with charity, compassion, healing, and anything creative as well, because obviously we've got Venus in on the mix. She's very creative. So anything with that dreamy, poetic vibe, really good intentions. If you want to get involved in anything like dancing or writing poetry, it's a really good day to make those manifestations. Talking of which, we've got a really lovely aspect from Pluto actually, talking of manifestation. So if the water here is, and the Piscean water, that's the mutable water, is very dreamlike, very misty, very foggy, intuitive. What I love here is that we've got this support from Pluto right here, who's in Capricorn, sextiling in on the action. So this is really nice if we're talking about making tangible with that Earth these dreams. You've got that really nice support from Pluto hang out there in Capricorn. The other thing I really like about this energy is we have a lovely trine going on between Saturn up here and Mars. So trine is a very, very supportive energy. With Saturn and Mars, with Saturn and Mars, we're talking about willpower, direction, and with the air signs, it's going to be very much about thinking. So I feel there's a really good opportunity for crystal clarity in regards to thinking, and also asserting yourself. Could be in something airy like an intellectual pursuit or something of a humanitarian nature. Finding form to that, finding structure to that with the Saturn energy coming in there. So I really like that, because last week we were talking about these thought forms with this new Mercury-Jupiter conjunction that happened last week. So this is a really good way of grounding that, making it into something solid with this Mars and Saturn trine energy. All right, so very dreamy week. Yeah, week to escape, get out of the routine, try and relax, and it's a very positive energy. It could be a really good time to, if we've been working from this idea of separation, which we were talking about a bit last week, it would be a really good time to set some intentions around acting from that place of oneness, you know, and being together rather than separation, which is after all an illusion. So yeah, something to think about with that. And now let's pull some cards. And yes, I'm just going to ask Spirit, what should we be focusing on? What should my viewers be focusing on with all this beautiful Pisces energy this week, which is very dreamy, potentially a bit escapist? What should we be focusing on? So, we've got the Five of Swords. Okay, so letting go of those mental narratives that aren't serving us, and the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is very much about balance, and it's also about give and take. Okay, so do you remember that what I was talking about with the Pisces, seeing myself as one? If there's anyone, I've been getting a lot of readings this week around work, and then the Six of Pentacles comes up. And the theme there is very much see what you're doing as an act of service. Okay, see what you're offering. See it as an offering, and that will serve you to lose any self-restraining thought narratives which are going on, which are actually just blocking you. It can seem very virtuous sometimes to hold back, but it's actually just, you're getting in the way of the divine will for you, okay? So Five of Swords, very much thinking about thought patterns, releasing any negative thought patterns. We can use that Mars and Saturn energy. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Tower in the reverse. So yeah, that's very much going to that Mars energy. I think we had that last week as well, the Tower. So yeah, just really go with that process of letting go of thought forms that aren't serving you anymore. Okay, so we got the Emperor in the base, so very much about sovereignty. We're finding our sovereignty by surrendering. I've chosen this very feminine deck, and I think there's something to be said here for, you know, like in the Tao they talk about the water and how powerful it is, even though it's extremely flexible, it can actually move mountains. And I feel that's the vibe we should be going for this week, with the Emperor in the unconscious here. That's also very much talking about the Mars-Saturn trine that we can use to find sovereignty. And Seven of Swords reverse, so yeah, the Five and the Seven of Swords, they often come up together, and it's very much about mental thought forms, overthinking, lack of clarity. So yeah, very much about surrender this week, I feel. Wow, the Sun going into the past. So there's definitely some kind of spring awakening going on. Some kind of... Well, this card, the Sun, is really about authenticity. It's got a very childlike quality to it. It's got something alchemical to it as well. It reminds me of the furnace, you know, in alchemy, where you can really burn through those illusions, and what you come out with is the gold. So that's what we've been going through. I feel that's really a nod to this year, actually, and what's on the table if we can actually go through this process that life is asking us to engage in. And I love that we end on the Three of Wands in the future. This is a really nice card. It's a fire card, which I really like, given there's no fire this week. Yeah, and we've got this Emperor as well. So there's plenty of fire in this reading, which is great. It tells us we're not lacking in that department. So keep that flame burning. The Three of Wands in the future, look, she's very much... she's very excited about the future. It's a very stable energy, the Three of Wands. It's where we've taken the necessary action, we've done, let's say, the training we need or something like that. And it's a time when we can survey the scene and wait for the next opportunity. So I really like that, because there is a balance of passion with this fiery energy. This is an Aries card. and also that sense of patience and waiting. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. I wish you a really beautiful week, and yeah, just a great opportunity to continue to let go of those mental narratives that aren't working for us anymore. So use that Mars-Saturn trine energy in the air signs. See what you're doing as service. That's a very Piscean idea. See it as sharing with the world. Look at these beautiful roses. Because yeah, we're definitely coming into this new identity much more authentic, much more sovereign. Look at that, the Sun and the Emperor. Real sense of sovereignty, being really centered and in our vibe. So yeah, go with that, and I wish you a beautiful time, and I'm looking forward to catching you next week. Same time, same place.